Aloha! I'm pleased to talk today about imagining ocean science for public engagement using real-time streaming and connection as part of the Schmidt Virtual 2020 conference. The deep ocean below 200 meters is the largest ecosystem on our planet, supporting life for every human on Earth. And yet, in more than 150 years, we've explored less than 15% of the seafloor, and human eyes have observed even less than 5%. Ocean processes affect every aspect of our lives, and we are now learning that humans, in turn, affect many aspects of the ocean. We only have a rudimentary understanding of the ocean's role in our survival on Earth, and we are at a critical point where we may be impacting the deep sea without truly understanding what those impacts may be. The U.S. Ocean Exploration Program under the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, began 20 years ago with the objectives to map the physical, biological, geological, and chemical aspects of the ocean. Since this time, those dedicated work has expanded, in particular in the philanthropic sector, filling in gaps globally where government and academic institutions may not be able to. Schmidt Ocean Institute was one of the earlier philanthropic groups dedicated to this work and remains the only year-round sea-going philanthropic research vessel. Since 2009, Schmidt Ocean Institute has focused on leadership and international collaboration, bringing people to our research ship, laboratories, using robotic tools and high-performance computing to conduct cutting-edge science, as well as technology development and mapping the ocean floor. In fact, just this past year, we reached a milestone of mapping more than 1 million square kilometers, all while making this public and sharing with the broader community. We do this through focusing on the unknown, catalyzing science when possible, and advancing technology by testing new systems to ensure science is informing policy, management, and contributing to the broader protection of the ocean. Excuse me. Since 2013, we've conducted more than 1,400 science days and traveled a distance of 10 times around the world. We have brought more than 900 students from 30 countries and 900 scientists and 300 students from more than 30 countries. We also have our 4,500 meter capable ROV Sebastian, which has allowed us to bring the deep sea to the public through live streaming. And we've also been able to share this in perpetuity on our YouTube page. In a high-risk, high-reward science and exploration environment, we don't know what we might discover. We must view the ocean exploration as a global imperative and come together on an international level to achieve something greater than we could do alone. Ocean science was once completed in remote regions with little public engagement. However, this is changing with a growing number of scientists and institutions looking to expand the reach. Scientists now bring local community members, artists, students, and data visualization specialists on board to enhance the technology and the arts. These mechanisms enable broader understanding of the ocean and offer students and lifelong learners new opportunities to engage and train in the ocean sciences. The goal of these efforts are to make the public rethink where marine science is shared and breaking down the complexities of ocean research. Schmidt Ocean Institute co-founder Wendy Schmidt says, "Our vision is to talk about the ocean in ways that people everywhere, from a scientist, student, artist, and farmer, can understand that the ocean, is their life support system." And we do this through 5 dedicated programs that connect people remotely to the work on our ship. I'll go in more detail today about these 5 programs that include our ship-to-shore connections, ROV live streams and live connections to the ship, our Artist at Sea program, our Student Opportunities program, and expanding our community reach online. Starting with our Ship-to-Shore program, we connect to classes around the globe. This includes collaborations with museums, aquariums, and organizations that bring together multiple classrooms like Explore by the Seat of Your Pants. We are able to reach people globally with live ship tours, real-time science, question and answer with our scientists, and create this as part of a larger program with our blogs, weekly videos, and other materials that the students can follow along with. We give multiple opportunities for our scientists and students to participate, and since 2017 have reached more than 100,000 students through this program. Here's an example from our recent expedition in the Ningaloo Canyons off Western Australia. As you can see, we have opportunities for live connections to Falkor, where the science party, as well as our Falkor crew, can engage with the public. Shown here is our wonderful marine technician, Deborah Schmidt, who frequently connects with the public. We are also able to allow viewers to enjoy live streams and connect remotely with the work being done in real time on the ship. We are able to have people eavesdrop and listen in to the scientists watching what's happening in real time, creating an immersive experience. We also distill these 8-hour dives into short video clips that create 4K high-resolution highlights to allow people to engage with the best of if they're not interested in sitting in an 8-hour dive. What you see here is some examples, both in our highlights as well as our live streams. We allow for comments online and engage frequently to answer questions with the public, both on YouTube and on Facebook. Live social media posts during the dive share findings, spark conversation, and engage remotely with other scientists to identify specimens, as well as to bring in other experts. Real-time connections from the ship enable multi-beam mapping and ROV dives all over the place. Currently, we are in the Great Barrier Reef area in the Coral Sea, working in the Coral Sea Marine Park with our first entirely remote science party. So our scientists are watching these dives and commenting from their living rooms in real time as everybody else watches remotely. We currently have over 2.3 million viewers on our weekly wrap-up videos and our YouTube highlights. As you can see, this imagery is inspiration and allows artists that are on board to also draw their inspiration. Our Artist at Sea program was an idea from our co-founder, Wendy Schmidt. She wanted to expose artists to ocean and science and to use their art to share with the amazing work being done on board to reach groups that normally may not be exposed to the science. This video is an example of a recent expedition last year that took place on the Emperor Seameal. This is with Arizona artist Christine Lee, who used 3D printing as well as embroidery and design to reconstruct coral specimens that were collected during the expedition. What you'll see through this video is the multiple platforms and ways that she uses her art to express the work that's taking place. Not only engaging with the science party in two-way conversations about the science, but also with the crew, working in the engineering shop, with our marine technicians, and using some of the resources available on Falkor. Some of these include our 3D printer, our engineering shop, and allow the scientists flexibility to develop their craft at sea. After the cruise, artists contribute to our collections with their art that is showcased at museums, as well as conferences and aquariums. Like scientists, artists conceptualize and put together new ways of thinking. A cross-fertilization between scientists and artists will broaden awareness of the important research taking place on Falkor and the complexity and ocean issues facing today. Since 2016, we have brought together 33 artists, resulting in a collection of more than 130 pieces that have been shared virtually online in our online gallery and through 16 exhibits in 10 different cities across North America. I'd like to show you some examples of the art now that we have collected over time. And we believe that this art is a platform for expressing different disciplines and bringing together this cross-pollination of scientists and artists. We bring artists from multiple disciplines, including photography, digital arts, visual performance, computer programming and visualization, painting, fiber artists, musical composition, modern dance, cartoonists, sculpturists, upcycling artists, and that's just to name a few of the types of artists that we have had on board. Our Student Opportunities Program provides undergraduate, graduate, and college students opportunities to take part in seagoing scientific research aboard Falkor. We're not only targeting college-age students, but we try to reach all different types of audiences through lessons plans based around some of the science taking place on Falcor, as well as other resources like coloring books, comic books, which is now in its 3rd print edition, as well as online resources that have been transferred to different languages so that they could be understood in the regions that we're working in. Over 30 science organizations have joined us recently in our new hashtag Schools at Science to bring ocean science components as well as activities and live streams to students that are at home right now looking for education-based opportunities. We also share the news and findings. For example, our recent discovery of possibly the world's longest species, the siphonophore, which we found at up to 150 feet, can be used to create imagination and learning opportunities, such as coloring contests, which you see in the slide here on the top left. We are not only increasing awareness about science, but providing tools and approaches that transform ocean knowledge into action. And we do this by working outside traditional structures to increase diversity of those exploring. We see communications as tools for this, to build interest and relationships with communities who traditionally have been underrepresented around the world. In our program, we value openness and inclusivity. This is an important component of the student and artist program that we have. We seek to amplify the work of our participants and use them as examples in their own local community. We are building informed appreciation of the deep sea, ocean science, and discovery. According to multiple studies, knowledgeable citizens will purchase, work, and behave differently when rationally made choices reaffirm beliefs established during early childhood. Continued exposure will expand and strengthen stewardship and pave the way for long-term cultural commitment to exploration. Remote connections to science in a positive way can do this and reach our greatest numbers. While we understand we still have a long way to go and not everybody can connect virtually the way that some groups can, we feel that with the technology and access, we are making progress. We also try to use social media to bring targeted messages to our audiences. With wide reach on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, we are able to expose millions of people to remote ocean locations, imagery, art, and animation. Our last expedition allowed us to show a perfect example of how science can go viral. As mentioned, the discovery of the world's longest species, the siphonophore, allowed us to bring that message to multiple people. It trended on Twitter, resulting in more than 4 million impressions, and was picked up by public news outlets such as New York Times, BuzzFeed, and was reproduced in 21 languages in over 30 countries. We also try to create conversation and ocean exploration conversations around certain hashtags. We have Tech Tuesday as well as Science Art Friday. Print is another way we do this through news discoveries, targeting different audiences and interest groups through print, industry magazines, newspapers, and online outlets. Leveraging the tools of mass media with ocean stories will create a more informed public that can then enter the mainstream or pop cultural realm in entertainment, literature, and film. In this context, the media can help to influence the agenda by identifying why and how the ocean is important and relevant to society. It helps us to promote a responsible citizenry and encourage young people to start a career potentially in the blue economy. We need to build a greater global interest, engagement, and capacity for ocean science and exploration, and look for ideas in unexpected places. With more global collaborations than ever, with the Seabed 2030 initiative and the UN Decade for Ocean Sciences for Sustainable Development occurring, we have the resources and the connections to engage and share with our communities, both inside and outside of the sciences. Bringing together ocean sciences with artists, designers, and storytellers to create new ways for diverse groups to experience and expose themselves to ocean exploration in participatory ways, as demonstrated today. Thank you so much for your time.